Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Hip Hop Vibe. This is our fourth episode. Today, we're going to be talking about the new Tyler the Creator album, Call Me If You Get Lost, and it's going to be a pretty open discussion. But yeah, I'm excited to do it. It's going to be an interesting one.
For the first time, we got guests on this episode. So if you guys want to introduce yourselves.
Yeah, what's up? My name is Anthony. I'm Spiked on Twitter, known as Spiked Hustler. I get around. I get around.
My name is Mariano. I'm also on Twitter. Oscos, that's my ad. You guys know me right now.
Of course, of course.
Alright, well, where do we want to start with this? I mean, we could start anywhere, but
So how about we can start with just general thoughts about the album? Like, how do you guys like it? What do you guys think about it? That type of thing.
Alright. Me personally, I think this I think this lands in like a pretty safe spot for me. Like in Tyler's discography, it's really high, just behind Igor. It's really great. The use of samples and the use of features in the whole album was phenomenal. And I think him like using the production that was used in like because there's elements of like every single Tyler album in this album in terms of production, and he blended that in with rapping, which is something that was really nice.
Yeah, I also like feel the same way that I feel like this is like right behind Igor for me because I listened to all three before I hopped in the call and just kind of want to like assess like which one I feel is like the best. And it's still Igor, but this album is such a strong contender towards it that there's like some songs on here I'll take over others on Igor. It's just, yeah, like Mariana said, a lot of aspects of Tyler just kind of hodgepodging everything together, just kind of matching his mindset as to where he is. Because I feel I've seen a lot of criticisms of the album of just like people are saying like this thing isn't as conceptual. How do you follow up Igor? And the way I've been looking at it is like it's kind of a stretch here. Bear with me, but it's like Travis Scott made Birds in order to get to Astro. I feel like Tyler just made Call Me If You Get Lost to try and get to where he wants to go next. Like this thing doesn't need to be conceptual. It doesn't need to be whatever. It was just pure fun and something I felt like Tyler needed to get off of his mind in order to go work on whatever else he's gonna get to next.
Yeah, actually, I kind of agree with that point right there because it still had like that mixtape vibe, if you guys know what I mean.
Yeah.
And there really isn't a solid concept, but like he's still telling a story throughout the whole album. So I'm like if you want to compare it to Igor, like you really can't if you want to talk about
Yeah.
talk about it structure wise and conceptually. But yeah, I feel like this could be leading up to like something much more in depth and I don't know, more thorough, which I want to see that because you never know what Tyler's gonna do next. But in terms of like ranking and stuff, I haven't really had the like I haven't really been able to place it solidly in a spot. For me, I still think Flower Boy and Igor are better than this one, and maybe even Cherry Bomb, but I'm not sure yet. I was just like so far I've just been listening to it like basically I don't know, I've just been enjoying it really. I haven't been like thinking too much about what's best or what's better, that type of stuff, but I could definitely see it creeping up into the top 3.
yeah. For me, I don't know. I actually would put it ahead of all of them, honestly, right away because the only reason is because I love when he raps, and like that's my favorite thing about him, and we didn't see that a lot on Flower Boy and like Igor, although there were moments, of course, where he did. But yeah, like him bringing back that older style and adding it with the enhanced production was like really cool to me. So I really like that about it. Because when I first listened to Igor, I was pissed because I was like, why is he not rapping? But then, yeah, I get it. I love Igor. It's a great album, and like I love the concept and stuff. But to see him just rapping, having fun, as well as showing off his skills, that really stands out to me, and I like it a lot.
Yeah, I definitely agree because like Tyler's rapping is like bar none unique. Like I don't know any other rapper that kind of carries the style of Tyler of how cocky he is on the mic and just his kind of general like gusto and brevity that he carries with himself. It's like it's just so entrancing at times that yeah, I definitely love when Tyler is rapping. Like last year, his features on what was it, 423 and something to rap about. Some of his best verses, just him just casually rapping over those nice ass beats. It's like he is just really good at rapping, and I think there's no denying that.
And I think that's like what you were saying. I think that's what like gives Tyler's rapping a lot of personalities. Like the amount of confidence that he has, like not only with the words that he's saying, but like the way that he's saying them. And like also, for example, like in the album, he had like the interlude that was called Blessed, and it's him just like saying like all of the things he's like accomplished in his life and all of that. And like it's not something that he only like keeps for like that interlude specifically, but it's like he spread that throughout the whole album and talking about like how he's proud of the person he's become. And the manifesto song with Domo Genesis as well, like that let me know that like he's proud of like the fact that he's become someone better than who he used to be. With all of the crazy shit he used to say, like between 2010 2012, like we all know about that era of Tyler, and like how he's progressed ever since, not only musically but personally. And when you're able to show that and showcase that in your music, I think like that not only takes like a lot of talent, but also a lot of bravery and self growth. And for you to like put that image out there to the public, I think it takes some balls, and I appreciate that like a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, about the rapping part too. I really love when Tyler raps, and one of the things I really enjoy about this album is that like he tried some different flows. Like on What's Your Name, his first like his verse, like I don't really think he's like ever done a flow like like that before. So like I thought it was cool how he was just trying new things, which he always does. And yeah, talking about like him when he first started his career, like back with Goblin and all that. Um, I'm glad he's like self-aware, and like he, even though he like mentioned that it was like fiction and all that was like for the sake of, I don't know, just for the sake of art, I guess. I don't know. Like I'm not really defending what he's saying, but he even acknowledged that it was wrong back then. But now he knows that whatever he did, like whatever he used to say back then, definitely had its like consequences, and he's dealt with those. He's like apologized to the people he's offended, and like he's not trying to hide anything. Like he knows that everything's out there, so he just acknowledges it and owns up to like what he's done rather than trying to like deflect it, which I really respect about him.
Yeah,
Like he did
because
that on the song with Delmo Genesis. Is that fuck, Manifesto? Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, because I think Tyler as a person is just he's so internet heavy. Like he was one of those first rappers that was just like he's on the internet, dude's getting around. I mean, he started on what was it? It
The
was some like
blogs.
message board. Yeah. Yeah, he started there. Like this man's internet like footprint is all over the place. So he just knows that he has to kind of like own up and fess up to all the things that he said. But yeah, and then another thing I want to kind of bring to like attention. I think Tyler the Creator's like one of the best collaborators. Like he just knows how to make people work. Like this album has some amazing features on it. Like we have all these Tyler stands just turning their heads like, oh man, I gotta start enjoying Young Boy now. You know what I'm saying? I gotta check into 42 Doug. You know what I'm saying? It's like he's just if Tyler's bringing you onto his album, you know he's about to make you into like some golden verse. You know what I'm saying? There's not a single like feature on here that's bad in my opinion, and that's like exceptional for me.
Yeah, he definitely has a like an ear for talent. Like he recognizes like who's good and who's not. Like for example, you like you were saying, you can hear someone like 42 Dog and Young Boy, and you can think, oh, like they're in like this world where they are just making trap music, making fun music, making music about the lifestyle that they're in and everything. You're like, okay, they're like that little area, and they can't escape that area, even if you put them on some great production. And Tyler, I think, is one of those artists that can only like accomplish that. And like I rarely see that nowadays. I see that with like Kanye, with Pharrell, but like I rarely see that like anymore with like new artists. So like for Tyler to like receive like that torch like from like people like I said, like Kanye and Pharrell. I'm not saying like he's better obviously, but like he's like definitely getting there in that specific area. Because like I haven't seen anyone complain about the Young Boy or 42 Dog versus like on Twitter or Instagram, YouTube, nowhere.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's a good point for sure. And I think like one thing that always stood out to me about Tyler is like he creates like art. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not like I'm gonna pick this person because they're popular right now and put them on a feature verse. Like he if he hears something, he's like I know Young Boy can sing like that. Let's throw him on this song and see how it sounds. And like he did it, you know. And it was ambitious, but he probably knew it was gonna work. He might have even tested out some other people in that spot. We don't really know, but he wanted to create something different. I think he did a good job.
Yeah, and another thing I really like, he definitely has a great like I guess it's definitely like a talent, but like for choosing collaborators, and he's been doing that like his entire career. Like you can see on like Cherry Bomb how basically the entire album is just full of different people working together on it, and like on Igor he got Cardi to drop a verse, and he like worked him in really well with his style. Same with Uzi, and on this album too, like you guys were saying, Young Boy and 42 Dog, they sort of like went out of their comfort zone a little on this, and they still made it work. Also, he's really great at like bringing attention to like lesser known artists, because I've never heard of Daisy World, and I can't really remember her name, but the girl on
Wasn't it like
Sweet I Thought You
Fana
Wanted to Dance.
Hughes?
Yeah, Fana Hughes. Like I never heard of them before this, but they did really good on their like
They were
respective
great.
tracks.
Yeah.
So yeah. So he's got a knack for like finding talent, but also like piecing together different artists to like work with his style too, which is really admirable.
Yeah, and like for me, it's like the fact that like people are like, "Oh yeah, Tyler got out rapped on every song." It's like I just disagree with that argument because it's like literally if you listen to the production, he's building it up to give him that verse because he's trying to work them in. Like if he made Young Boy rap on like the beginning of What's Your Name and instead of like where like there's kind of like a switch up in the song, like Young Boy wouldn't fit as well. It's just like I just really don't understand that like argument that like Tyler's getting out rapped when he literally builds up to the production to let his people shine. Tyler's not afraid to kind of stand off to the side and let someone else take the spotlight. And I love that about him. He lets his features shine. And I
Yeah,
don't know, I love that.
I think like yeah, ultimately like he doesn't care. Like as long as like he on his song, I don't on his songs, I don't think like he's battling or trying like to be the best part of the song vocally. I think like he just wants the song to sound good. Like he's not one of those rappers or artists that like, oh, my feature sent me or my feature just recorded a great verse. I'm not just gonna re-record my verse and do it better. Like I think he's like, oh my shit, oh my fucking god, this works. I'm gonna put it in. Like I think he just doesn't care about that. He's not a competitive like type of person. Like for example, you can even see like the rollouts of both of these albums. Like Igor previously, like before Igor was like released, he made um little to no promo about it. Like all we saw was like the announcement, the cover. He dropped like this the same thing that he's doing like he did with Call Me When You Get Lost. He did the like 3 videos that are like chopped to like a minute long from songs and just released it. And you have people like DJ Khaled complaining about like Billboard. And then when you go to this year with Call Me When You Get Lost, the day the album dropped, Doja Cat dropped the deluxe. And like Tyler's just chilling, you know, like he doesn't care as long as he does what he wants and he completes like the aesthetic and the creative direction that he went into the album with. Like he doesn't care. He's not a competitive person. He just want to make the music that he wants, and I respect that so much about him.
Yeah, for sure. Like he's one of those artists that like always stays true to his character and like has his vision, that and he always just goes after what he wants rather than what he thinks people want, right? And like Anthony, as you were saying about like the features, I totally agree with the fact that he never makes it a competition. And his whole craft, like his whole I feel like his mindset when he's like picking features and all that is to find artists and to see like make their verses as great as they can get. So, like you said, he was like he'll step to the side, let them shine, rather than use the features to support him, he's gonna support the features, which I really never see that happen, or very
Yeah,
rarely. So yeah, I feel
yeah,
like that's why a lot of people like to work with Tyler as well. Like,
yeah, for sure. Like my the most recent example I can think of is like the Migos album with like Drake. Like Migos, that's an example of stepping out to the side too much because that song, the one with Drake on it, is just like that's just a Drake song. That's not even like a
yeah.
Migos song. That's just a Drake song. It's
Hmm.
like when people bring on features as an album, I think they should look towards Tyler to see how he does it and try and kind of get after that because he does it so well. He brings on
Hmm.
some of the most eclectic people in hip hop and just lets them do their thing, and it's beautiful to watch. It's so amazing.
I think that's why like you're never gonna see someone like Drake on a Tyler album. As much as like I would love for them to do something, I or probably like Tyler on a Drake album, which I also see not happening anytime soon.
Yeah.
Like they might be like really cool with each other and shit, but like I think Drake has rapped on a lot of production in general. Like Drake has been on so many different styles of music. Like he's rapped on soul beats, he's rapped on trap beats, he's rapped on boom bap, reggae. Like I can keep going. Like he's rapped on every single thing. Like and that's like why am I saying this? Because like he grabs artists that like okay the world has never seen like how they're gonna do on music like this, so let's bring them in. That's why I don't see like I don't see Kanye working with Tyler on an album soon because Kanye has done so much as well. Like on Puppet, I was even surprised that he was on Igor, but like in Call Me When You Get Lost, I don't know where Kanye would have fit in that album. You feel me? Like
Yeah.
that's what I mean. Like he grabs artists that like have never like been on their music on their production that he likes to do. And I wanted to ask you guys a question. Like what features with the album that we got, what features like do you guys think we were missing, like, or just name like two if you can.
I honestly couldn't say we're missing anything. Like I guess you could say artists I'm
What do you
looking
want?
for, like I would
Yeah.
want, yeah. As contrary, to everyone, I didn't want Frank on this album. I was like, that's not because I don't like Frank in any sense. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan, but still, I just think, it's why reuse the same artist over and over because none of that just shows Tyler's writing himself into a box.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I That's a really hard question, but I don't know. I guess just some previous collaborators that he's worked with. Uh, Maybe Cali. I think Cali could have slid on this. That we got some tropical vibes. Maybe Cali could have slid on this. Like, really, at this point, you could just say anyone because of how well Tyler's gonna work them in. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, because you just said I couldn't see Kanye on this album, but at the same time, could you see YoungBoy on this album? Well, now
Yeah.
you can because Tyler did it. But it's just a matter of like, I guess if I had to choose, I'd say Kali Uchis because she's just got that tropical vibe to her.
Yeah. One that I thought of when on my first listen was like when Run It Up was building up and like those horns came in. I was like, damn, like what if we got like Mac Miller on this album, bro? Like he could have dropped a verse. Like that shit was just like tough. I wish that he was able to do that because I feel like he could have fit on this for real. Because like the vibes were on point for sure, and he would have.
You would have fit on Sweet. I thought you wanted to dance as well.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with that too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could agree with that.
Um,
Um.
what about you?
So for me, I think you asked me this like before the album dropped, but I still think Steve Lacy would have been amazing on almost any song on here. Um, I just love Steve Lacy. I really like. He's super versatile too. So like Tyler could have incorporated him in any way like either of them wanted to. Also SZA. I don't think that they've never collabed before, but
On
I
what song?
think they would work perfect together. And I don't know where I would place her on this album really. Maybe on Sweet, maybe taking over the vocals on some part, I guess. But yeah, like I feel like SZA could have been incorporated onto this album as well, which I would have loved to see. But I'm really not complaining about any of the features because
Me,
like literally every single one shined.
yeah.
Um, like there's really not a single bad feature throughout the whole album, which
Especially
is
Lil Wayne.
is yeah, the Wayne feature was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess if
same
we
with the
were to pick
Uzi one too.
a if we were to pick a worst feature, I guess it's got to be Tyler's mom. She didn't really do much. She didn't rap. I was expecting her to rap, but she didn't. So I guess I got to give it to her.
I like
Uzi.
his mom's energy. I like that whole
Yeah.
interlude, bro.
Yeah, that whole
She's
inter
just like
yeah.
talking her shit. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Uzi was my least favorite feature.
Really.
Oh, that's
Wow.
Ooh,
interesting. I thought that
wow.
was one of
I
his
probably
better
have a
verses as
bias.
well.
I'm not the biggest Uzi fan to begin with, but
Okay.
Yeah.
I just it was just okay.
That's
My
the
least
OG Uzi
favorite.
flow, though. I thought it
Oh
was
yeah,
dope.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it reminded me of. But least favorite is probably 42 Dog for me.
I gotta agree.
And I'm not yeah, I'm
Damn.
not saying it's bad or anything because it was a solid feature,
Mhm.
but it just felt like out of place, you know?
Yeah.
Like it was good, but I feel like it was sort of unnecessary.
I mean, that was one of the
Um,
least complete
yeah,
tracks, so I can kind of
yeah.
see that. Like it was just kind of getting us started. I like the horns and stuff. Like that was a vibe that he
Mm,
was trying to create with that one. So like that's
That's
definitely a kind of track you listen to in the car. But I like 42 Doug, but I just didn't think that this was his best performance. You know, I don't know. It was still cool
yeah,
to see him there.
I haven't
yeah.
heard too much of his music, but I love that track. Like that track, that's the one. That's one of the ones I return to the most, honestly, because it's like I just love how Doug slides on it. He slides so hard on that track. So I don't know. Like I know Mariano has said that the beat is like kind of messy and stuff, and like I just don't see that. I feel like it's kind of unnecessary messy. I don't know. It's just I love that track so much. So that's crazy that y'all all have complaints about it. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
honestly
For
my least
me,
favorite track, but
yeah,
hey,
me too, bro.
you know,
I
you
mean,
gotta
yeah,
have a
look,
least favorite. So
at the
Yeah.
same time, it's still a good track, and I think 42 Doug did really well. Like his performance is great. I just think like I don't know, maybe Tyler could have incorporated him in a different way or made it like more complete. Because I feel like it was just super random, and like the way he comes into, it's like sort of like the whole vibe switches, and that's the same thing that happened with the Young Boy feature, except it flowed well. And the addition of Doug on this felt kind of awkward, but yeah, I don't know. It's not a bad track, and he had a good performance, so I can't really complain too much.
yeah,
Marion, what do you think about Lemonhead?
I think like I've said like before, I think this song is like I fuck with both of the verses. Like both of the verses are really nice, and I think they fit to whatever Tyler was like aiming for in that song. But I just think like like the amount of things that are going on in the song, I think it's a bit unnecessary. I don't think it's like it doesn't sound like a mistake. It sounds like like he was aiming for it like to be like messy to some degree, if you get what I'm saying. But like that's personally not my cup of tea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, oh, go ahead.
No, no, you good, SK. You good.
Yeah, I was just gonna say like Tyler's known to sort of have like these messy tracks like all the time. Um, like he's as an artist, he's sort of all over the place a lot, and that's you can see that on Cherry Bomb. It's sort of like it is really messy, and I feel like that just sort of fits his aesthetic. So I guess that's what he was going for. But at the same time, not a lot of people are gonna like it. But I don't think Tyler gives a shit about that. He's just doing what he wanted to do. So
yeah,
can't really complain about that.
yeah.
Yeah, like that's just Tyler. To me, that's who Tyler is. He's just this dude who just walks around. He doesn't care about what other people think, and he loves sticking his head out everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like he just loves being himself, and so those like messy moments of his life can spill out on his music, and that's why like I don't know, just a track like Lemonhead doesn't bother me at all because it's just like it's such a great track, and I love the feature. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. That leads into something I wanted to ask about. when I heard Lumberjack, I was like, all right, so the people who joined on the train after Flower Boy and Igor are not gonna like this album. So, what do you think like they are thinking right now of this album? Because it seems like we all
Um,
like it, but I wonder what other people have to say.
I actually have a few thoughts on that. So, Dylan, remember when we did our Tyler episode?
Yeah,
We talked about how he gets new fans for every single release,
right.
and fans that join at a certain point dislike older stuff or maybe dislike the newer stuff. So
Right.
that this album is literally just a continuation of the cycle that's been going on for a decade now. Um, like this album, I definitely because there's definitely hit like aspects of all his styles on here, but I think this is something that his like OG fans, the ones that like think Goblin and Bastard, like all that is like his best. They don't really like the newer stuff. I think they're gonna enjoy this more than like Igor and Flower Boy. But the fans that joined around like the Flower Boy Igor time, they're they're gonna find it weird, right? Because I don't think they've. I mean, if you've obviously heard Tyler's old stuff, I don't think there's room to complain. But like if you haven't, you're gonna find it kind of weird. But I feel like I don't think they'll necessarily dislike it though, because there's still elements of his like newer work on here. So there's like a little bit of everything for everyone,
Yeah,
which is what
but
I
they're
think.
probably really fucking confused about DJ drama.
Yeah.
The-
Oh my
yeah,
God, the amount of people I've seen get mad at DJ Drama on this album is
People
sort of
need to stop
annoying, bro.
crying. They need to stop crying, bro.
yeah.
Like, bro,
That's like the best part. That's like one of the best parts of the album for me. Just the way he just feels like the glue. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
he is the glue to every song, just sticking it together, hyping it up the track. Like, nah, I love DJ Drama, and it's crazy to think like an artist like Kevin Gates is also like
Mhm.
on a like the same dude who was on a Kevin Gates album is on a Tyler album. Like it's just like
Yeah.
I don't know. And
It's
that
also,
lead,
oh, yeah, no, I was
yeah,
just gonna say, it's also funny how Tyler literally wanted, like, there was a tweet, Tyler is saying, I think it was 2010 or 2011. He was like, I want a Gangster Girls project so bad. 10 years later, he gets one. But the people who don't know, like, who DJ Drama is and his impact on, like, the culture and hip hop, like, they don't understand how cool it is to see DJ
yeah,
Drama on the Tyler the Creator album. I love that aspect of it. I don't know.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
And
don't
that just
know.
that adds to my point more. It's just like this was something Tyler wanted to do and wanted to like get there. And this is just kind of like a just an in-between album. But yet it's not an in-between album that to the point where it's like bad. It's like an in-between amazing, you know? So it's just like I don't know, this album is just purely amazing to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't,
I,
oh, wait, never mind. You go, Mariano.
I was gonna say like I agree with the same and like I think like not only like does he add like a lot to like glue the album together, but also in the sense of like him with his aggressive like vocals throughout the whole record also match like the aggressiveness of a lot of these beats like and that's what makes it so good and like even him like you would think with a song like sweet slash I thought you wanted to dance like he's the one that connects like the transition from one part of the song to another and like one's like a reggae song and the other one's like a soul R&B song with Brent Fayez. How the fuck would you fit DJ Drama into that? I don't know, but he did it. You know, like
Yeah,
Yeah.
he fits
yeah,
perfectly.
it's a crazy thing. Even the fact that he transitioned from like a R&B song into like a reggae bossa nova type thing, like, dude, I don't know how he does it. Like when I was hearing that song, and it just like, especially on that first listen, it just progressively got better every like 10 seconds. I was like, how is he doing this? I don't know. I don't know how he incorporates all these different styles and just makes it work.
Yeah,
Really.
every time I listen to that track, and like before the drums come in, it just starts to build up. I like lose my shit for a second because it's like it's beautiful. And my favorite thing that DJ Drama says is like this shit for the sun seekers. I love when he says that. That shit just like puts a smile on my face. Everything
Yeah,
this
man.
man says is just so fun. You know? Oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Also,
Yeah.
there's a um about Lumberjack. Uh you guys seen the tweet from Tyler like years ago saying like who the hell are grave diggers, like why you
Yeah.
comparing me to them? And then
You
he
know?
goes ahead and samples. What was the song again?
I forget, but I love that track. Damn, yeah,
I
I
can't remember
forget.
the song name, but he sampled them. Like what
Yeah,
was it like? I don't know. It was like 8 years after
Oh,
he tweeted that.
I know what you're talking. Like the tweet, I seen it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He
That's
just
yeah. That's
accomplished a lot of his dreams, like while
yeah,
making.
exactly. It's just funny how it went full circle because he like went from not knowing who they were and getting mad that people were comparing
Yeah,
him to them to sampling their song
yeah.
on his album, which I found that really cool. And that's just like a whole part of just like artistic development and see how he's changed as a person too. I feel like it just adds to that whole aspect of it.
yeah,
Mhm.
because I mean, in general, this is like Tyler's wised up. You know what I'm saying? Even in like moments of like Igor, in Igor, you could tell Tyler was insecure at times with some of the stuff he was talking about. You know, that album was him kind of just like trying to pick himself up back together. But then on this album, it feels like he's back. He's full force. He's full confidence. You know what I'm saying? He's out on this boat in Geneva, just with his feet up, chilling because he's like he's himself again, and that's what I love about this. Like he just feels so confident, so himself, and I don't know. It's just great. I don't know.
I okay, I agree with you like 50%.
Okay.
Well, for me, like I don't know if this is like the intent or if I'm like sort of digging too much, but I feel like at the start is where he's like super confident. He's like bragging and he's like talking about all his accomplishments, this that. And then like there's a part in this album where it sort of breaks and then he's like sort of like opens up. I don't know, like cuz like the tracks like Sweet and um what is it? Wilshire, or I don't know how to say it, but I feel like those are
Yeah.
super sort of vulnerable compared to like the rest of the music on this album. I feel like there's aspects of both. But I want to ask Dylan. Dylan, remember when we were talking about like doing this episode and you said that you were going to do like a focus listing to see if you could like pick out a story or something like that. Did you come up with anything? Or did you come up with anything like any
Yeah,
cohesive things that Tyler was trying to do on here?
I'm starting to pick up on some stuff. I'm definitely developing some ideas, which I think is cool because, like, as much of a mixtape feel it is, and it's like a fun project for him, I still think he tried to do something with this. So, I mean, if you think about the title, Call Me If You Get Lost, like, that's a pretty obscure title. That's got to mean something, right? So, one thing that I have noticed, I'm not, fully developed on this idea yet, is but the last thing that's happens on the album is DJ Drama says, "Call me if you get lost," and then the phone rings, and then he says, "All right, we out." So they something happens there, and I think it's gonna like lead into the next album somehow. So I think there's
Yeah.
some kind of development of getting lost and like being like free, or like he's obviously rich now, so like I don't know, finding yourself in the world is part of the idea, I think, but I'm not 100% sure yet.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys picked it up, but there's phone ringing throughout the whole album. Like there's he leaves like those like I don't know. It just adds a really cool tone feel to the album. It adds cohesiveness. Like it sticks to the theme. But like going like back to like the lyrics and shit, I really don't see like this being like a massive cohesive like concept album as like Igor was, because this is like Anthony was saying earlier, it's him having fun rather than him looking like for a specific sound or lyrics, because there isn't like a specific sound either. There's so many songs that sound so different from each other, and like it's crazy because he can do so many things at once, put that whole thing in an hour of material, and like I don't even know how long the album is. It's like 50 something minutes, and like still make it really like blend together. And going back to DJ Drama, I think like he does that perfectly. And also like for Tyler's side, none of the transitions, like there's not a song here, there's not a single song that like connects with each other in terms of like transitions, but somehow it sounds like it. I don't know if that like makes sense. Like it's not like previous Tyler albums where he's made like the last like 20 seconds of a song sound like the rest of the next song. Like a lot of producers do that. Tyler's done it in the past, but here he doesn't do that, and he still sounds like it's all one big ass song. If that makes sense, like he still managed to do that, which is still crazy.
Yeah, and with SK's point a couple minutes earlier, like you said that you kind of felt like something switches up in this album. You see, I don't know if I agree with that because then tracks like Blessed kind of like counter argue that. And I know it's an interlude, but it's like why if there's some sort of switch up happening, I don't know if I like could see a track like Mama Talk and Blessed being in the second half of that. You know, it would make more sense if it was in the first half with that confidence. And then just in general, yeah, Dylan, I feel like this is also like I said, just an album that is going to be able to like tie up whatever the next album is going to be. Cause like yeah, the Call Me If You Get Lost. Like I think we just gotta wait on the movies. Cause I mean, as of recording, Corso dropped today, and like. I mean, I watched that. I don't know. I think that's just a music video, I guess. But like, I feel like there's something there because it's like Tyler was performing, and at the end he kind of breaks down, and it's like there's definitely a story to be had here. But I just don't think we've been given enough information for it to make sense enough, I guess. But I don't know because yeah, Tyler's always working in the background. You know, there's always some sort of hand that he's moving, and so it makes it something interesting.
There's something that did catch my attention though, and this all like ties back into like the potential story in this album. There's like a huge theme of just travel and like exploration, like discovery. I think that all plays in. I feel like this is sort of him, I guess like reminiscing, but also just I don't know how to put it into words, but I feel like he's just like gathering his thoughts together and like making a sort of a statement about his career so far, because like maybe again this is all just like hypotheticals and just like random thoughts that I've come up with, but maybe this is like a story about how he's discovered himself throughout the years, and like the title, like Call Me If You Get Lost, maybe like that has to do with him like maybe being lost in the past and then discovering himself, or maybe even rediscovering himself, like in this current era. I mean, like I can't really pick out anything like a solid storyline or anything, but there's definitely themes of him reflecting a lot on this album, which I think is pretty cool and something to talk about. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely like a track like Manifesto like gives
Mm-hmm.
to that. Yeah. And yeah, no, yeah, just sitting here and kind of thinking about that, like it is interesting how much talk about travel. Like is this travel literal in the sense of him going somewhere or is it like more in his brain? He's reflecting, you know, like there's just so much that can be uncovered about this album that I think it's just so early that we still have yet to figure out. Like album dropped like 4 days ago, you know what I'm saying? Like there's just so much to uncover about this, and it's great. Like it keeps you thinking because like Igor, it was like okay, yeah, it's a breakup story, it has its complexities, you know, it has its edges, but then this is like there's something there that is being told that the rest of the whole like community just isn't picking up on, and then
Mm-hmm.
I think with the introduction of the music videos that we'll be able to pick up on, and I think it's gonna be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, as we've been recording, like you made this point earlier on, but I can't stop thinking about how this is like a preview into his next work. And this is like that's sort of what J. Cole did with the off season. Like it's like a mixtape style project,
Yeah.
and then it's just
Oh,
leading
mhm.
into like something huge, you know. And now I
I,
can't stop thinking about that because I'm trying to see like what's his move with this. Like, what is he? How is he gonna incorporate this into like the bigger picture? You know. Do you guys have any thoughts on that? Or any
yeah,
more thoughts on that?
it's funny you mentioned that because like it's like the complete opposite for me. Like I think like this album is like it's like I said before, it's like Tyler coming into realization that like he's at like this grand position and like he's accomplished so much, like collabed with a lot of people that he wanted to collab in the past, like dive into so many sounds already, talked about so many things, like he was forgiven by so many things, like everything in the you can possibly think of has already happened in his life, and this is like his victory triumph. Like he's like finally like at peace, like in love. Like for example, like Igor is just him like it's an album about falling in love and then getting your heart broken. Like it starts all happy, like Earthquake is a love song, and then you go to fucking Gone Gone Thank You, and it's such a sad fucking song, like lyrically. So like, and now he's happy again. So like, this doesn't sound like waiting for what's next. I think this could like I know he's not gonna retire obviously, but this could be like a good retirement album as like in the sense of all right, like now I'm happy. I've done everything. This is like the last I'm gonna give y'all because this is like what I always wanted to do, like when I got happy and like when I've accomplished everything. That's how I see it. To be
My
honest.
My only issue with that is that that would mean that Tyler is content, and that just doesn't seem like him as a person. He always seems like he's chomping at the bit, ready for the next thing. You know what I'm saying? He's making his moves. You know what I'm saying? And it just that just doesn't. I don't know. I think the idea of this just being a victory triumph, a victory lap for him, would mean that he's content with where he is. And I think that someone like Tyler is always trying to grow and evolve to the point where maybe he isn't, or maybe he is, but it's just I don't know. It's a good point, but I think this is definitely going to tie into something, one way or another, or it
Yeah.
might not. We'll,
I
we'll see. You know.
I think he's gonna move more into like film and like stuff like that, instead of music, maybe going forward. So we might see that connection into it somehow as well, because like with the traveling and stuff like that, he could do it something with that, and maybe like make like a movie about traveling or some like it could be something like that. I don't know. The dude's got crazy ideas, so you never know what's gonna be next.
Yeah, cause like you see, like he said a couple days after Igor dropped that like he's done. He's gonna take a longer break than usual. He's gonna work on movies and stuff and like all this. And I guess it is kind of contradictory to his point because he released an album within his regular time cycle that he usually releases albums. But like, yeah, I don't know. I think he will definitely go into more movie soundtracks, and that's not to say like we have yet to talk about like how like Wolf is still intertwined in here and how that's intertwined. But definitely like I just think Tyler is definitely going to try to move into movies, and like he's good at it. I really love the Grinch EP. For some reason like people don't like that, but I like that. I like that project. I like it.
Yeah. It's like I don't know if like you're gonna like get what I'm saying here, but like this sounds more like what came after Igor than like it sounds so stupid, but like this sounds like more like what came after Igor than this being like a layup for something else. You feel me? Like
Yeah.
this was like a sequel to Igor, and his next album is gonna be a completely different thing. That's what I'm kind of getting from this. And what you
Yeah.
were saying about like movie soundtracks, I'm so down for that because like I really do think that he can like pull some Hans Zimmer shit like for a like a space movie. Like
Yeah.
he can definitely do that, or like or just forget about movie soundtracks. I would really like him to produce someone's album. Like just go at it. Just have fun and like lock in with someone and just do 10 songs, do 9 songs, fuck. Like do as many songs as you fucking please. But like just I want an album where he's not rapping, he's just producing and have West Side Gun all over it. I want a West Side Gun album. That's the one I'm looking forward to like most. Like him working with anyone in Griselda. Like
Shit. Yeah.
I need that
Mhm.
because like he did produce in Pray for Paris, and I did like what he did there. I just want him to produce for West Side Gun. That's the album I need. I fucking need that in my life.
All right, so with like the past like 5 minutes, I have like I sort of have a follow up question from Mariano.
Mhm.
So you know how you're saying like this is him feeling like, oh, I finally accomplished what I've wanted to do. So you know how Kanye sort of did that with Graduation? Like
Mhm.
he was like, I made it to a spot where I wanted to be in my life. But that album was like, this is sort of just the beginning of my life, you know? So it's like I got to this spot, but where am I gonna go next? So do you think that's something that Tyler's doing here, or do you think it's like I've
It's
made it to my I've made it I've like achieved my goals, I'm done, or is it like I've achieved my goals, I have this much more left to do?
It's the exact same thing because like where does that Kanye trilogy end? In Graduation,
Yeah.
it ends there. Like
Mhm.
it not only like album like music wise, it's like that state of mind that Kanye was on, like like going from Graduation to like 808s, it's
808s,
a
yeah.
huge fucking U-turn.
Hmm.
It's a huge U-turn, and like of course like even if you go back to Tyler's discography a bit more, you can find out that Cherry Bomb and Flower Boy is a huge turn as well. So like
Or even Wolf to Cherry Bomb.
exactly. So like and even like Goblin and Bastard as well. But like Flower Boy, from Flower Boy to Call Me If You Get Lost, there's a really similar direction throughout the three projects. And like for me, this is like this trilogy. It's not really a trilogy, but this three album run, like it's. I think that's like this is gonna be like the end of that Tyler. Like whatever he does next is gonna be completely different than these three albums. Because like Flower Boy, like I said, it's there's some things from Flower Boy that sound really similar from Call Me If You Get Lost.
Hmm.
Um, production in Igor sounds similar as well on Call Me If You Get Lost. It's just rapping under it, over it. But yeah, this is kind of like that. What you were saying about Graduation.
So,
He uses a lot of the same synths from Igor.
oh yeah,
Like I forget what
um,
song, but it's like it feels like a complete like rip of a synth on Igor. And I mean, I'm
it's
not.
sweet.
Yeah,
Like
and I'm
the
not.
I don't know how to describe it. I don't know. I forgot what song on Igor, but yeah, it's
Yeah,
sweet.
and I have no problem with that because that shit's like so beautiful. Everything Tyler's production. I'm gonna be honest. Tyler has like some of the best production in hip hop right now. I mean, like,
I
I
need
don't
his
know.
fucking synth. I need to borrow it. His synth kit
Yeah,
and his drum kit. I
yeah,
need that.
dude's hiding that shit in like some like secret cave or some shit. Cause like it's just insane how that shit sounds. So glittery, so like it just sounds so him. You know, like each one of these last three albums is like a perfect word to describe it is glittery. Like it's just I don't know. It's entrancing to say the least.
I
Yeah.
kind of want
I
to
see that.
add to that. Do you guys think that even though it's like not stated, do you think it like Flower Boy to Call Me If You Get Lost is like an intentional trilogy by like seeing
Uh,
how there's so much similarities between each other? Like if you go about like titles or anything like that, it's like not officially one, but do you think there's sort of like the intent behind it?
I'm
Yeah.
gonna go ahead and
Yeah.
say I don't think that there is at all, honestly.
Hmm.
I see what you guys are saying about some of the same elements on Call Me If You Get Lost from the last two, but I mean, this is pretty different in my opinion. I really don't see a
Yeah.
strong connection. Like Igor was like very, very developed, and this is like not that developed as like a complete story or anything overall. Like there's no character involved. When he did the trilogy before at like the start of his career, like with like there was some characters that like crossed over to make it more
Hmm.
complete. And with this, like this is the first album really where he's not taking on like a character in a way. Like Flower Boy, he wasn't really on that either, but you know what I'm saying. Like there's just he's very open ended on this rather than the previous two where he was very specific. I feel like.
you
To answer
know,
that,
Yeah.
okay, go ahead.
you know, I'm actually gonna. I'll meet SK on that one. I think that this is get me here. Igor is the first album in the trilogy because if we look at it, the way the titles are, they're all uppercase. Everything around this album is uppercase. So if there is going to be some sort of trilogy, because I'll tie in Mariano's idea of this is Tyler's victory triumph, and also the idea that we're traveling somewhere, like Dylan has pointed out, like those two ideas together could mean that this is like that in between middle album of what the third album is going to be of the end of the trilogy. So if there is going to be something that okay at the end of Igor, Tyler picks himself up, he realizes he's better off now, he's gonna go travel somewhere. This is that travel, this is that in between. Then the next album is going to be that if there is a trilogy, because that is a very big if, because
Hmm.
and my whole argument is based off of song titles and the way they're capitalized.
Right.
So I don't know, but like using the other kind of theories that we've put together, then yeah, sure, I could definitely see a trilogy being probable, but it's still a big stretch. It's still a big
Yeah,
stretch.
he's always changing anyway, so it's not
Hmm.
like it's
Exactly.
always just been all over the place. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually have something that. Oh no, go ahead, bro.
Okay. Me, I was gonna say that like this definitely like sound wise, it doesn't sound like it's connected. Like I do get that, but like if we look at like the state of minds that Tyler was in while making each album, that's where I do connect them because like Flower Boy's like him like starting to like feel comfortable with himself and like oh I'm finally gonna like just embrace who I am and like Igor for me is the attempt like the attempt at like I'm actually gonna do this like I've talked about how I'm gonna do it now it's time to do it and then it starts good and then he fails. Like that's basically what Igor is like thematically and lyrically. But and then Call Me If You Get Lost is all right. I picked myself up from that. Like I'm finally happy. I went through the sad shit that I was like in like 2 years ago, but now I can finally say that I'm okay. I'm happy. I found everything that I needed in terms of love, money, success, personal growth. Like there's so many things that he's already completing. He's like, okay, like I'm fine now. And like but then again, like that whole theory that I'm explaining can get thrown out the window if you focus on the fact that Igor, for the most part, is like a character that Tyler is playing rather than him talking about himself. Like, and because he not only did he said that like somewhere in the album, I forgot where, but like he said it in like interviews, tweets, like how Igor is more of a character, you know. So I don't know. I think, like I said, if you connect like the state of minds that the state of mind the Tyra was in while making these albums, then sure you can say this is like a trilogy.
Okay. So that you actually brought up a really good point because that's like sort of connected to what I was gonna say anyway. But you guys know how like at the beginning of his career with like Goblin, Bastard, and Wolf, are you guys familiar with the whole like storyline of like the doctor and then
Yeah.
the
yeah,
like
Unfortunately,
the psych ward and like the mentally ill patient, all that? So you can see how he introduced a new character on this album, Tyler Boldier, right? That's a
Baudelaire, yeah,
that's a
Baudelaire.
no Baudelaire, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's another new character, right?
Yeah.
So
It's a reference to
what?
a book series. I mean, it should be a series of unfortunate events.
Uh,
The main characters are like the Baudelaire twin, the orphans and shit, and
huh.
like that's like the whole story behind it, and it's like just the idea of like all their mishaps. I don't know where he'd get Baudelaire from other than that because it's the only like pop culture reference to it, but like yeah, Baudelaire's is related to that book series. So yeah,
I've heard that Boulder. How do you say Baudelaire?
Baudelaire, yeah,
Baudelaire.
Baudelaire. I've
you're
heard that he was
struggling.
like a poet or something like that,
Um,
like a
yeah.
poet from way back in the day. So I don't know,
probably
but
I'm
it's
not
first
up on
definitely a
my
species
new
of like
poetry, so I
character.
soul
wouldn't
or
know. Yeah, I'm not up on my poetry.
Yeah. So I mean, like it's definitely something different. So I don't know.
that's a
I
good
guess
point.
like all the points that you guys been making, um, they could all just tie into like the next thing. So I don't know. I feel
Yeah.
like all you guys brought up really great points here.
Yeah, and like I honestly it could just be like over analyzing because like with Mariano's it's
Oh
like
yeah,
you could
definitely.
just kind of work it into like kind of anything. But I think that also just shows how well kept Tyler keeps his art, you know what I'm saying? Because it's not each album isn't out of the realm of possibility that there is a connection to each one, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's just I don't know, it's almost genius if anything. I mean, to deny that this Tyler isn't a genius is just like kind of dumb to me.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I also wanted to. I was also thinking of something, but like we went past that conversation, so I didn't really bring it up. But we were talking about how there was a lot of travel imagery throughout this whole thing,
Mhm.
and this could basically tie into what you were saying, Anthony. But do you think like that travel sort of represents like moving on to like a whole new phase, or it
Yeah,
could be something like that, couldn't it?
yeah, exactly. Cause like Igor was him, like kind of just like like towards the end of Igor, he seems kind of all right with himself, but also still like kind of down with like, are we still friends? You know what I'm saying? But then this album is that moving along. This is that travel to that better place, and so maybe the next album is gonna be that better place.
Is the yeah that better
It's
place? Yeah.
gonna be the Geneva of like his world. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna
Hmm.
be, and it, yeah, exactly, yeah. Like I really do think that this is like a connector album. It's like the conduit to the next thing. You
Yeah.
know,
Hmm.
and so definitely Mariano's like the three albums we've given now could make sense. But you see, I think we just have to wait for whatever this next album is gonna be, because I feel like that's either going to answer Mariano's theory that these three albums are its own thing, or my theory of like the next album is going to be its own trilogy. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Because it's like, yeah, I don't know, it's just kind of crazy. I'm excited to see where he goes. Like, just already say that I'm hyped for a next album is like kind of silly, but still, I mean, I'm chomping at the bit now. Yeah.
I think like what you were saying, like your theory about, yeah, your guys' theory about like this is like him traveling to whatever like he's got next. It might sound like very ignorant for me, but like I do think that like that like there's no like super theme like behind that in the sense of like these like whatever he was rapping about in this album, that it doesn't really connect with that at all. So like me, like what I'm gathering from that is like him giving like himself like a shot on what's maybe like directing a movie or producing a movie, making an original score for a movie. I think like he just and he even said it. He even said it in the Blessed interlude. Like he's working on movies, he's working on shows, and I think this whole like thing that he's doing with the traveling is like, all right, let me see how much I can actually like get from this. If I'm gonna fuck some work up, let's just fuck myself up. Like let's give it a shot, type of thing.
What do you
Rather
wait?
than-
What do you, okay? Hold on. You kind of lost me towards the end there. What do you
Yeah.
mean by that?
Okay, okay,
I
okay.
don't know what that
Like,
meant.
what I'm trying, okay,
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say is that like, if this is like, okay, if maybe this like, if maybe this concept around the music videos and everything he's doing goes wrong, it's him doing that to himself rather than doing it for like a company that like wants him to do a movie. Like
Oh, okay, I got you.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like it's like he's doing he's using this album as a test run, like as a test to work on something else, which is like film and just movies and yeah shows. I think that's what
So
I'm trying to do.
yeah, so basically, like this album's like an experiment for
Yeah,
him.
no, no, no,
All
no,
right.
no, not the album, but like
Or
the
like what he's doing
the
Just
vision.
part of
surrounding
his
this
life,
album. Or
maybe.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause he released the what brown sugar salmon it was called. Like
Hmm.
I
The
still have
the
yet to
skit.
even like, yeah, the skit, like what does that even have to do
I
with
have
this
no
album?
fucking
Has
idea.
no
I was so
has nothing
confused.
to do. So that's what I'm saying. I just don't think we've been given enough information as to piece together what that has to do, what like all of these visuals have to do. And so that's why I think we have to wait for the next album or more music videos to drop. And so yeah, I really don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that this album's like rollout is completely over in a way. Like I feel like
Definitely not.
the
He made us
videos, yeah.
yesterday. He made you like sign up on the website. You had to put like your phone number and your zip code and stuff. And like my idea is just, oh, it's a postcard, but I remember that you don't have to put in your address specifically. So it's like I have no idea what that could be. So I signed up for it just to see what happens, but I have no
I
idea
think
what it
that's
could be.
just gonna be like information for like a tour or something. Like I don't
No,
think.
but why would they have you put in your zip code and your phone number? Not even. Oh, I guess text message.
Maybe,
Text message, but like
yeah.
it could be for the vinyl drop,
You had
but
to put your
like
age too, though. Like I don't
yeah,
know.
you have to put your age, and
Yeah.
just to secure my ass, I put 2000. But like still, I was just like, I was just like, what the hell could this mean? And yeah, the rollout is definitely not done. Tyler likes to eke shit like through it, and I think COVID kind of canceled it for Igor, but he definitely had more to say because like he said that the I Think music video got canceled because of COVID, so he just released what he could for I Think, um, and so yeah, I think he's like kind of like bleeding like hints and stuff like that, and
At least he got to do the fucking festival that year.
yeah, and he said that this album was produced by Wolf Haley, so like there's definitely there's still some stuff to be said here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's one of the most interesting things about it. Like, it keeps me coming back to the album. It's like whenever he releases something, related to it, I listen to it again and I'm like, fuck, what did that mean? I don't know.
I need to watch the music video for Corso because he dropped it today and I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't watched
yeah,
it
it's
either
good.
yet, but I will after. For
Mm. Yeah,
But
it's
I find it crazy, bro, how it's been what 4 days
4 days.
since the album
Yeah.
came out, and we have been able to come up with a bunch of different theories, different like hypotheses, all this type of stuff, in literally just 4 days. So just imagine how much more we'll find out, like given like given time, you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Because
like,
yeah, no, exactly. With Igor, it was a straight arrow. This is a breakup album. It's all that. Very little theories here and there were thrown around. You know what I'm saying? But with this,
Mhm.
is there's like maybe it could be a criticism of Tyler that like this album has much to be desired, but I don't think so. I think it's just more so like he's playing a different game with us at hand. There's more to be told here. So yeah, it's
It
interesting.
really reminds me a lot of After Hours in the sense of like
Yeah.
I'm gonna have so many music videos that connect with each other, but the music isn't really gonna have a lot to do with it. Like for example, like the how the fuck can you connect like a song from like In Your Eyes from The Weekend to like Snow Child?
Yeah.
Like it's so different, but then you see the music videos and there's a connection there. You feel me? Like I
Yeah.
think he's kind of like going the same route here, where he's like, okay, like the music, it had like its own story. The music is done. Now let me focus on like continuing like another like side B story with the visuals. And like the weekend continued like that thing with like the Super Bowl. He wanted to do tour, but he couldn't. That's kind of like what I see. Call Me If You Get Lost. Like he's gonna continue like the music videos, and that's gonna like go towards like a tour or something. And like in the tour, he's probably gonna like add some shit like that's connected to the story of the music videos, like the sets and everything. Like he has like flog knot to himself. Like he can do so many things like with this like rollout.
Yeah.
And like in with Igor, like the music videos, like I didn't see that much connection with the music videos, or maybe that was just me like being like, I don't know, just not paying that much attention. But I already see more chemistry and more sequence with the videos he's dropped now, and I'm yet still to like watch the Corsa one.
Yeah.
And
I
yeah,
will say the Corso one is like the furthest detached from like
okay,
everything. Like I'm not even gonna lie. Like I was like, what's being told here? Like, cause like y'all have to watch it for yourself. But like, it's not even like the same kind of style that we've seen so far. It's so far detached. So that could throw a wrench in our mix completely of everything we've been talking about. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. The Corso music video is like just nowhere near kind of the
okay,
style we've seen.
I have to watch it.
Yeah, yeah,
so like, bro, we like jumped in to like all our theories and stuff, but I don't think we ever got to say like what our favorite tracks were and all that type of stuff. Like
yeah,
we
yeah.
skipped over all like the basic introduction type, but we just jumped straight into it.
Yeah.
So I want to ask, what do you guys like? What's your, if you had to choose one, what's your favorite song off the album?
Uh, I, sweet. I thought you wanted to dance.
Mhm.
He kills it on those slash
Yeah.
tracks. Those double tracks.
Yeah.
Like that track makes me like just like mind blown every time. Like, oof, crazy track.
Yeah, I would
That's
have to
mine too.
agree. But which half though? I would actually have to pick
I
the. I thought
I
you wanted to dance.
Yeah, I thought you wanted to dance is clear of sweet. Like, don't get me wrong, Brent Fires did his thing, but like, that is insane. I thought you wanted to dance. Like, Tyler got better at singing. Like, it's crazy. I thought you wanted to dance is crazy.
I prefer Sweet. I'm gonna be honest.
That's fair. That's
Um,
fair.
Tyler's vocals, like, I mean, yeah, no, the whole thing just together is amazing. So I can't really like form an argument as to why. Like, I don't know. It just sounds. I just love Brent Fayez, so I guess
Yeah,
that's why.
there's a bias there. There's a bias there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mariano, how about you?
I'm gonna have to give you a top three because I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I would put like what's your name in number three, and in number two, Hot Wind Blows with Wayne, and in number one I would put Sweet, the first half.
All right. So it's all of us got the same track, and that says a lot because that track is phenomenal. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that track is a heavy hitter. Like that thing is like rivaling Gone Gone Thank You, and that's like my favorite. That's my favorite Tyler song.
Yeah.
That's
Gone
my
Gone Thank You is
favorite.
my favorite.
That's my favorite.
911 is my favorite Tyler song, and Sweet's not too far behind. Not gonna lie. So
Yeah,
Yeah, that first
Yeah, man,
listen
I
was
don't-
so crazy. Like just hearing that whole thing, like
Yeah.
10-minute songs. Like what how is he gonna keep us entertained if it does not feel like it's
Exactly.
10 minutes long?
and the timeline
Mhm.
blowing up was just like magical, bro. Like oh my
Yeah.
god, every time.
It's-
Yeah.
I didn't get to
It's-
see the timeline. I was doing the fucking video.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
me
Oh
too.
yeah. No, it was cool because like everyone was at the track at the same time, and it gave people a chance to catch up, too. Because like by the time, like even if you started a little later, by the time like you got to the song, most people were still like on the same song. So everyone was just experiencing the whole thing together, and I thought that was like super cool.
Yeah, no, just like the way like the bongos are played is just like so like you just kind of follow it and your just head kind of moves to it. And like I was at Disney when the album dropped, so like I was just chilling like around like palm trees just listening to that shit, and I was like, this is crazy.
Dude, that's
Like,
awesome.
Damn. Yeah, I know it was beautiful. Yeah. Oh my god.
That must
yeah.
have been like such a perfect first listen spot. For an
Yeah,
album
and
like
I was like camped out in like a cabin on like their like property, so it was like that
Uh-huh.
like lumberjack scene kind of look to it, and so I was just walking around at midnight just listening to the album, and I was just like, this is insane. So yeah,
That's so cool.
yeah, no, it was like
That must have been an experience, bro.
yeah, yeah, no, it was. I kind of feel bad though because I was kind of on my phone, and for Igor I wasn't. I like dropped everything and just kind of like stared at the ceiling in darkness. But for like this one, I was like, I gotta talk about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was crazy.
My Igor first listen was in the middle of art class because I wasn't able to
Oh,
listen
damn.
to it like
Ooh.
the night it dropped. So I was like, we had like our teacher wasn't there, so we had a sub. So I was like, all right, let me listen to the album. So
Yeah.
it was kind of a scuff first listen, but
That
it's,
happened with
it is
me.
what it is.
That happened with me with Jesus King and Eternal After.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Eternal Take
Bruh,
for me too. I was in French class.
They both dropped
and
at
Jesus
random ass
King-
times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they dropped in
Yeah,
the
bro.
morning. They dropped Friday morning, both albums.
Mhm.
So I was
I-
like, I got to listen to, like Jesus King at like lunch. So I was like, okay, like I'm chilling.
Same, yeah. It was
Yeah.
like,
I
yeah.
listened. I listened to fucking Eternal Attic in fucking business class. I was like, give me a fucking break.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro. I was in French class. I still remember. It was so funny because everyone literally just stopped what they were doing. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, when Eternal and Take and when Jesus King dropped was like I remember I was sitting in engineering class listening to like Jesus King, and I had like gotten my nice headphones at the time, and it was so loud, and like I was on Use This Gospel, so everyone heard the sax solo, so I thought I was listening to like some like weird ass jazz shit. And my teacher was like, "You like jazz?" I was like, "Sure, I guess I do now." It was like, yeah, I was like I was rocking with Jesus is King. I still do. I love that album.
Damn.
I like that album a lot. I like that album. But yeah, nah, first listens are definitely important, especially with someone like Tyler, who like
Mhm.
sets the mood so well that like if anything, his music enhances the environment you're in. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
just like it's gorgeous. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to ask one question. Where does this like album rank? Like, when's the last time there was an album that like was this good or that hit you this hard on the first listen? Like, it's been a little while for me to have one that I liked this much.
I already know my answer.
I got one.
it's
For
Igor.
me,
For me, it's Igor.
it's Circles, bro.
Mm.
Cause like,
Oh.
yeah, man. Like I don't know, cause I've been a huge Mac Miller fan forever. So that was like his posthumous record, right? So like just emotional, like I was like super emotional listening to that. At the same time, it's phenomenal. So like
Yeah,
yeah, I haven't. This is like the first time I've had a first listen that even matches circles for me.
yeah.
So
Dylan, are we talking like first listen as in like of new albums, or are we just talking like albums in general that you listen to
Yeah,
that like
I'll say
hit you?
like new, just so it's like based on like a timeline of like when it
Okay,
came out.
yeah. Crap. I can't nerd out here, but one of my favorite artists, bruh, one of my favorite artists,
go for it.
Eva Boy, just recently dropped their album. And I remember I was playing with my friends because me and my friends, we all get in calls and we first listen to new albums, and we were all like playing a game, listening to the album, just having a great time. So that album came out this year, and that definitely hit the hardest. But like, yeah, nah, I fucking nerded out, but whatever. Like, I love that album. That's my album of the year right now. So, sure, we'll see. Yeah.
I think
Word.
I think Igor is my like literally like the last time I felt like that because like
Damn, bro, it's been like what, 3 years? Not two.
Yeah.
Three. No,
It came out. Didn't it come out like
2018.
April?
no,
2018.
April
May.
it came out
Wait, no,
2019.
no, 2019. Yeah, my bad. Shit.
May of
It was like
2019.
April 20 or May
Yeah.
2019, something like that.
May
Yeah.
20, May 18th. I have like the limited edition shirt that has like the date on it. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think like I know that was my favorite album of that year, so that's definitely like locked in. And so like
Yeah.
going to the 2020 ones, like shit, probably Manger on McNichols, like that's like probably the one that fights it. Cause like my other albums of the year for that year, like After Hours, I don't think so. Uh, the Liana House self title, I don't think so. The Clipping, I know you hate that album, Anthony, but
I did too.
I don't think so. I don't think, yeah, I don't
No,
know what
I take it back. You know what? My answer actually is 3:15:20 by Childish
So is
Gambino.
mine.
damn.
Oh,
Yeah,
whoa.
yeah. You want to know why? You want to know why? Because we were in quarantine. No, actually, here's how it
It was
happened.
right as quarantine
was-
started.
Yeah, it was the day before because me and my dad had woke up at like 4 in the morning to go and drive to Disney to get on the new like Star Wars ride, and we were listening to like the website because it was just the website at the time.
Yeah.
Um, and so we were listening to it, and I was like, "Holy shit!" And I was 4 in the morning. I was tired as hell. I was looking out the window, just like experiencing that album. And then the more I listened to it, stuck at home, it's like it just grown on me because that's my favorite Childish Gambino project, and like that is
Hey,
just like
glad we're on
that
the
album
same
is
page here.
amazing.
I like
Yeah,
that.
that album is amazing to
That
me.
was
Like
my
that's
2020 album of the year. So like that shit
Yeah.
like hit me like crazy in my first listen
Yeah.
because I remember everybody was like pissed off like why the hell did this dude just release the whole album without
Yeah.
fucking titles. But yeah, that's
No,
why I
I
always
love
like
that.
that.
I love that. Yeah, no, that album was like a 10 for me when I had first listened to it, like for like a month
Damn.
and stuff. Yeah, so no, I still love that album. And just listening to it late at night just reminds me of quarantine. Like that album and After Hours are like two like big like quarantine albums. So yeah,
Yeah.
that also
Like that
Alfredo. I'll give Alfredo. Yeah.
You like After Hours?
I do. I love After Hours. Yeah. I was gonna buy like I remember he put up so much fucking vinyl for it, and I was gonna buy like the holographic signed like, but I just didn't. I kind of just like I was like whatever. I'm not
Bro,
gonna
I
buy it.
got so pissed with that whole After Hours release because like I heard Blinding Lights and I heard Heartless and I was like, oh yeah, we about to get a crazy album. And I pre-ordered the album in February and it was like the black LP just.
Oh,
by
you fucked
itself.
up. Yeah, you should have
Oh.
waited.
Yeah,
If you waited like 2 weeks, you would have
Yeah.
gotten a signed version. Like
And
literally
then,
just wait.
yeah,
Tough,
and
bro.
I was like praying like please don't let this album be bad. Like this we already got like two great singles. Like I don't want it to be mid. I hear the album's amazing. I go look at the website and there's like 6 million more different copies of it.
Yeah.
And they didn't even let me like change my order, so I was really pissed. But,
I'm not gonna lie, that drop was kind of absurd. He was dropping like candy and shit. I was like, what is this, bro? Like, yeah, nah, it's a fire album. I gotta get that on vinyl sometime. Yeah,
yeah, it's an amazing album.
it was either the After Hours or all 7 editions of the Scots by Travis Scott. So I had a tough decision to make. So I
Why
had to
did
go with
you
the Scots.
bought all of them? I don't
Bro.
I have them. I have
Bro,
them sitting over there. I don't know why I did it. I don't know.
What's wrong with you, bro?
Quarantine.
I do
quarantine
have a
had me
question,
down
though.
bad.
That relates back to our original topic. Mario, you brought up how you wanted to see a West Side Gun project produced by Tyler. So I
Yeah.
kind of want to ask, like, Dylan and Anthony, who's an artist that you want to see Tyler produce for? For me, I want to see a Brent Faiyaz album produced by Tyler. That's like a dream collab right now. But
Yeah, I'll hand it to Dylan for a second. Hold up. Let me
Yeah,
think about
I
this.
also have to think a little bit. I don't know. I mean, it's tough because like he has a very specific sound. I've never really heard him like produce for anybody else too much. So it's like, although he's done certain tracks, it's just like it always sounds kind of like it's him.
mhm.
So it's hard, but I got to keep thinking a little bit.
Yeah, no, that you popped a hard one on me. I'm not gonna lie, cause I haven't been listening to a lot of hip hop lately, cause I'm a
Uh-huh.
nerd. So I've been, shit, bro. Hold up.
I'll give you another answer. I would like him and Thundercat to both
Oh,
produce one
Oh
album.
my god, bro! I
yeah,
was actually
that
thinking
would
about that too. That would
that
have
would
been
be
that would be
crazy.
insane.
I would like for them to both produce an album, like both of them having like just locking like production.
Yeah.
Thundercats sing a little bit, but I would love for the vocals and everything. I would love for it to be Childish Gambino. Like I would love
Mm,
Thundercat, Childish Gambino, and Tyler on an album. That would
Dude, that
be
yeah.
sounds that sounds amazing. Now, that's a great idea.
I'm not gonna,
I
I'm
would
gonna
love.
step out. I'm gonna say something a little out there. I think I would kinda, cause I've been in. I think I kind of want to see Mac DeMarco. I think that could be
Yo,
interesting. I think that
yes,
could be really interesting. Not
yeah,
saying it'll
for
happen, but like
sure, bro.
matching Tyler's glittery sound with like Mac's like kind of somber guitar at times could be very interesting. And like like I think there could be something there, and
Yeah,
like definitely
it
this
could
is kind of
be.
like the same Thundercat thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be like a project where like they just have a bunch of people, like just drop verses on their beats. I think like
Yeah.
the same thing as Mariano said with Thundercat and you with Mac DeMarco. I want to see Steve Lacy. That would be
Yeah.
awesome too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, damn.
I have
And I
I
mean,
have
hey,
an
I
interesting
wouldn't.
one
Oh,
that I could throw
what you
out
got?
All
there.
right,
What
hit
you got?
us.
I don't know, like this is just based off one collaboration that they had already, but I mean, how crazy would it be if Tyler produced a whole Cardi album? Like that shit could be insane.
I don't know, cause where
Oh,
Cardi
Mm,
is right now, I don't know.
yeah, that's the thing. Like,
It could go,
If
yeah.
Whole Lotta Red never came out, then I could see it. But
Yeah,
like the direction Cardi's going in right now, I don't
Cardi is on a
know, bro.
whole
I
different
don't
lane
know.
that like,
Like
yeah,
the
no,
whole baby voice and
yeah,
like those rage type beats. I don't know.
yeah.
But
If you,
honestly, like if you bring back like if you forget that Whole Lotta Red exists, then that could be pretty interesting.
yeah, cause with like dialect, but like I will say, fine, I'll play a devil's advocate with features. Freddie Gibbs, a Tyler produced Freddie Gibbs album could be crazy.
That could be
Yeah.
I think,
crazy
cause
too.
like especially with how like kind of somewhat jazzy, somewhat kind of very kind of glittery. Like yeah, it doesn't match Freddie's style, but like we obviously heard Tyler slide on something to rap about, so it's
Mhm.
like I think a Tyler produced Freddie album could be crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
have
for
two
sure.
other ideas too that I don't know if you guys like listen to these guys a lot, but like it could be crazy like if he did something with like Lupe Fiasco. I don't know because Lupe just kind
Okay.
of slides on every beat,
Yeah.
so that could be
I
kind of
mean,
wild.
yeah, I mean, there's a huge like criticism for Lupe about his beat selection. So, which I personally find it absurd.
Well, I
But
mean, there was that
I
one album, so we don't need to talk about that one.
okay,
But yeah, other than that, I agree.
okay, I agree with you there. But yeah, no, I could definitely see a Lupe and a Tyler produced for Lupe. That would be pretty cool. But it would have to like nah, I'm not Lupe could make it work.
Yeah,
I think they would I think it would be cool.
I'm gonna say another one. I think like of course like Childish Gambino and Thundercat. That's like fucking 2% of possibility. But like one that I think it's like 0%. I don't see it happening soon. But like I would love is for Tyler to produce for Mavi. I would love him.
Hmm.
I would love him to produce
Oh,
Wait, who?
yeah,
Wait, who?
that'd be
Mavi
Mavi.
Oh, yeah,
Yo, that would
no,
be
yeah.
that's actually a cool thought, but I
or
doubt
Earl.
they'll even ever
Like
collaborate.
whichever of the two. I think well producing for Earl is like that's actually like a 50% chance of happening. Like that could
Yeah.
Now,
happen. But like I would love to hear like an Earl and Tyler as
I
well.
don't know though, because I don't know if I could hear Earl on Tyler production, especially
Yeah.
if we're
Or if
considering,
you're talking about current production, like his current style, I don't
yeah,
see
like
it.
Feet of Clay, like those beats are
Yeah,
crazy on
imagine
Feet of
Earl with
Clay.
Different.
some synths like going on like
Yeah, no,
behind.
I just, yeah,
That could
yeah.
work.
No,
You don't know, bro. You don't know. Okay, I have a question.
Okay.
Um,
all right.
what do you want? What do you guys want to hear next? Like for Tyler on like his solo album. Like what subgenre? What genre do you want him to tackle next?
Jazz. I want Tyler the Creator
Yeah.
to make a jazz album, bro. I've been
Yeah.
wanting that ever since Cherry Bomb came out, and I will not stop wanting it until I hear it.
I
That
think
would
I
be
yeah.
phenomenal.
I want to hear like some like bossa nova, like reggae, jazz, like almost like a a Nujabes type thing. Like if he did
Ooh,
something like that. I know SK
ooh,
got, yeah, I know you paying
ooh,
attention now.
yo,
Yeah, but something like that could be crazy, I think. I feel
yeah,
like that could
bro.
be crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I liked the reggae that he
Yeah,
had on this album, so I would
Yeah.
love to see
The
some
Mhm.
more
reggae
of
was
that.
crazy.
I
This
want
was
to
almost
go.
like yeah, no, it's crazy like that. Like this reminds me of Drake's More Life, like that dance hall shit. Just such an
Yeah.
outward left thing for an artist because Tyler had kind of never really done that before, and so like that, yeah, something like that
Mhm.
would be crazy.
Yo, now
It'd be
that since you
interesting.
mentioned it, I also would want to see Tyler do some like lo-fi shit. Because you
Hmm.
mentioned the Jubies, so like,
Yeah.
damn, bro, imagine some like Tyler lo-fi beats and stuff like that. That
Oh
would be
yeah.
so cool.
Yeah, that'd be
I'd be
crazy.
mad. Yeah, that's a good idea. I never even thought about that.
Yeah. What about you, Mariano?
Yeah, I was about to say.
More. I wanted to do more soul. Like I
More so.
wanted to like from songs like on "Call Me When You Get Lost," like "Sweet," like and also the second half. I thought you wanted to dance. That showed that like he's improved so much in singing because like a lot of the singing on Igor, like obviously there were a lot of altered vocals. Like the pitch was definitely altered there, but like on that song specifically, it showed me that he's improved. So like I would love to hear him sing. I would love to have an album where he's just like working with a lot of soul artists. I'm gonna need Charlie Wilson all over the next album. Um,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
what
man.
what he did on Igor, Cherry Bomb, like, and I think he's on Wolf as well. Everything that he's done with Tyler is just perfect. Like I love what he does with Tyler, and I don't know, just more from soul music. That's all I want.
Yeah.
I
No rap.
wanna I wanna reiterate something I brought up before. Steve Lacy. I need more Steve Lacy.
You and your
That's
Steve Lacy, man. This
dude.
is
I
like
love
crack for
Steve
you.
Lacy so
Yeah.
much. And 911, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
911 Mr.
Great
Lonely
song.
is such a good song, but like,
Yeah.
bro, they haven't made anything else. So
Yeah,
it's kind
I
of
agree.
sad. But like, I hope they make some other stuff in the future.
that
Yeah.
reminds me of
I
like one of my favorite tracks from Tyler is November. I'd love to hear him do more
Oh,
production like that. That's such a dope
yeah.
oh
track.
yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
love it. November goes like, it's like I don't want to say underrated, but like it
Well, it's
doesn't
very
get
complex
enough
because it's like really a deep
appreciation.
song, but it's also like a dance
Yeah,
beat. So it's like I don't
yeah,
know if people
yeah.
picked up on that ever, but it's really
And the
dope.
whole concept of like what's your November, like I love that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's such a cool song. I feel like it's like underappreciated rather than underrated.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Fair.
Yeah. I
Uh,
think we've covered almost
Yeah,
yeah.
everything we could.
we definitely did.
Yeah,
We
we
covered a
talked
lot,
about
bro. It's
a
been like
lot, man.
what, 2 hours almost.
Yeah.
But
A
yeah,
great talk. Yeah.
I think we talked. I
Sure.
mean, to show that this album is very complex. We talked about it for this long, and you know,
And it's only been out 4 days.
yeah, Tyler creates a lot
Yeah.
of ideas from just putting out music. So I think
Hmm.
his creativity is unmatched. Great album, and yeah, let us know what you guys thought of the album if you're still listening. I don't know, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and we'll let Anthony and Mariano plug themselves again. Before we exit.
Yeah, so I actually have a little thing going on July 17th, Hustler Fest. I'm doing an online URL music festival. We have 36 artists coming out to perform on Twitch, and we're also going to try YouTube, but just Twitch is our main platform. It's all going to be leading up to the release of my album Hustle's Day Out. A little bit of a joke album, a little bit just something to come and laugh to. We're going to have visuals. It's going to be a great time, so just pop out if you can, July 17th. starting at 12 a.m. 12 p.m. actually, I lied. 12 p.m. ending at 12 a.m. with the release of my album. It's gonna be on streaming services, so come out and just have a fun time. Yeah,
Hard vouch.
hard
Yeah,
vouch.
it's
Yeah.
hard.
Definitely peep that.
Yeah.
Please stay. At least like watch a couple performances. I'm gonna.
We have formerly Len, all my Len fans coming
Mr.
out.
Len.
Yeah,
Mr. Len.
yeah. We got some big artists coming out. You know, we had to do it for Hustle Fest, so yeah, just come out, have a great time. That's all I've ever wanted to do on this platform. Is just have fun, have a great time.
Nice. Nice.
Yes, sir. And Mariano, you got anything else? You got anything you want to plug?
Just follow
What'd
me
you
on
say?
Twitter with finding_albums. Just follow me there. I do album reviews every single day, and yeah, if you like what I and like how I describe things, just talk like just peep there. There's a lot of more content there with the community's favorite albums there. So peep that finding.
Hard vouch.
Hard vouch.
Hard vouch. Hey, let's not forget the Oscars YouTube channel though. Hold up.
Nah,
The YouTube
nah.
channel's come on now, come on. The YouTube channel's crazy.
You can peep the YouTube channel. It's Oscar. I mean, it's just Mariano. It's just my name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have like 6 videos. I definitely want to do more. I just haven't found the time. But whenever there's a big release, I'll just drop a thing or two. But
One of them is with me, by the way.
With what?
I don't know why I did this.
One
I'm
of the
trying to
videos-
whisper, but yeah, one of
one
them
of
is
the
with
videos-
me.
One of the
Alright.
videos.
I watched that whole thing. That was great. Yeah.
Yeah, I made a reaction to the Tyler album. So if you want to see it, there,
Yep.
just go ahead.
Go peep it.
Fire.
He worked hard.
Fire.
Just want to say thank you to you two for having me and Anthony here.
Yeah, same as well. Big blessings. Yeah, I appreciate
No
you.
problem, bro.
Very
It's
much
actually super fun to have guests on here, cause
Yeah.
Sure.
me and Dylan, I've like wanted to incorporate like guest appearances ever since we like even had the idea of a podcast. So it's like the first time we did it, so I thought it went really well.
Yeah.
for
In the
sure.
last couple days, I had been watching your guys' show and I've been enjoying it. So just being on, it's just been a great time. So I appreciate it.
Hey, thanks, my boy. I
Yeah,
appreciate
no
that.
problem. No problem.
All right. Thanks for coming on, guys, and yeah, we'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.
Bye.
So.
Like, yup.